Hello folks, so today I'm going to tie a wee dry fly. That's a size 18 wet fly hook. Now just to show you in comparison, that's a 14, that's a 12. So as I say, you'll see yourself how small the hook is. But this is it's a wee fly I would use for fishing midge whenever there's small black midge hatching. Good wee fly for fishing rubbers as well. But what we're essentially doing, and I'll show you this fly here just to give you a comparison. That's a size 14 comparadon. Now you'll see the shape on the comparadon wing. That's something the same as what we're trying to do with a dry fly, only the hackles will be pulled straight up. And the way you fish it is you gink the hackles, and the body sits on the surface and the hackle sits on top. A bit like a sunken midge. As I say, you gink here and the body sits subsurface. And can be really effective when there's midge hatching. So we'll just get kicked in and get the fly started here. So the thread I'm using is Semperfly spider thread in black. So I'll just come on and get that started behind the eye of the hook. Come on, our scissors, trim away that excess. Now there's no tail on the fly. All that there is 2 runs of black thread. So you run the thread down to where our tail would start if we were tying on a tail, and just a wee bit of fluff on the thread. Just turn the thread and run it back up the fly again. And just be careful of the body, that the body is flat. Now I have here, this is a black dry fly hackle. As you'll see, it's very small, so just come on that end, pull the fibres away from the stock. From that stock to length. Give a wee run of wax down the thread just to hold the stock. You only need the slightest wee run. Hold that down on top of the shank. Come on then and tie that on nice and tight. Just run your thread on. Come on then and throw a wee half hitch just to hold that thread, stop it skipping over the eye. Tighten up our thread a wee bit. Straighten that hook up. Now this is, because of the size of the hook, it can be awkward to tie, but as I say, there's not very much to the fly. So just come on then on our dry fly hackle, wind that on. You want 4 or 5 turns of the dry fly hackle. Come on then and run your thread over that, tie that down. Come on and knock away the excess. Pull everything back off the eye. Come on then and give a few turns behind the eye to tie that down. come in then and throw a half hitch and behind the eye. Now, what I was explaining about the comparadon, what we're looking to do now is them hackle fibres. I'll pull this comparadon up just so I'm able to show you. It's easier to show on a bigger fly. So take the time now and pull all the hackles from the bottom towards the top, and what we're looking to do is give that shape there on top of the fly. And then what we do with the thread is something the same as tying on chain bead eyes. If it was the front of the fly, you bring your thread from the front round here, back round again. It's literally the same as a figure 8. So you start off with the thread here, you bring it down round the back, round this pillar, and back down round the front, and do that a few times over the bottom, round the top. And what it does is it builds up a figure 8 shape underneath the fly and ties that pillar on tight so that we're able to keep that up. But I'll show you now. I'll tighten this thread up a wee bit. So pull all them dry fly hackles towards the top. Now you won't get them all up in your first run. It might take 2 or 3 runs until you're able to get all the fibres up. So start off and you go over the top, underneath, and round the back of the fly. And then same again when you come to the front, over the top, just down in front of the hackle, pull everything up the ways. And then the same again, underneath the bottom and round the back of that hackle. Now you want to come in the opposite direction, so don't come back to the front again with the thread. Come over the top, give that a wee pull on underneath and over the front of the eye, and then the same again, over the top, underneath, and over the far side. And just slowly but surely build that up. And as I say, it's something the same as we would do with chain bead eyes if we were putting them on. It's just building up them layers of thread underneath the hackle, that it keeps the fibres pointing upwards. So that's enough turns there. So last part doing this, just come on and give a wee bit of length in the thread. Just come on and give your 3 or 4 turn up finish behind the eye. Pull the thread tight. Come on and knock away that excess. Bring all your fibres towards the top, and then take the time then and come on with your scissors and on of them fibres that we didn't manage to get turned over, just come on them, throw them away. Just roll the fly around the vise. Have a wee check underneath it. There's no loose or no stray hackles. The last thing that you want to do, this is just tie-in varnish. Just come on, clean the majority of the varnish off your brush. Come on and give the slightest wee dab underneath where we ran them runs of thread. Come on then, I have a wee fine point hook here. Just come on then, give a wee dab around that head, just to seal off that tie-in thread. And that's essentially our dry fly. Now, as I say, how you want to fish that is an 8 foot or 10 foot leader. Just yank the hackle fibres at the top. What you want that to do is, you don't want it to sit on the surface, you want it to sit on the surface, that the hackles are on top and the body of the fly is just sitting underneath. Now that's a size 18. You can change up the size of that fly if you want, but the biggest I would go would be a size 14. I wouldn't go any bigger than that. That's as small as I'll go, a size 18. I won't go any smaller than that. Now, you tied a 16. I tied the fly and I dropped it on the floor and I can't find it. And then when I went to look for another size 16 hook, I didn't have any. That's the only reason why I had to use an 18 for this. So I used a 16, which is a wee bit bigger, but that's essentially your wee fly. And as I say, can be very, very effective when there's midge hatching. Now, for you, if you've never tied it before, start off in the size 14. Put on your hackle. Now the size of your hackle, it can be a wee bit longer than that if you want, not very much. And the reason being is you're pulling the hackle up over the top, so any extra length that you have will be on top of the hook. It won't be outside or underneath. But don't tie them massive that you have a big hackle up to here. So there you go, folks. That's a handy wee dry fly, and there's nothing to it, but can be very, very effective. So thank you for watching. Until the next time, folks, tight lines.